Free group fitness classes along with member pricing for the whole family on youth programs such as swimming, dance, and basketball. The YMCA even offers free health assessments to kickstart your workout. Start the new year off right as a member of the YMCA and enjoy no initiation fees through the end of the month. For a list of locations and to join, visit ymcalincoln.org. The YMCA, for a better us.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular membership, the PF Black Card, is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There it is. Jay Foreman, Austin, the awesome twosome today. This is Old School, brought to you by the Mercado. Certified Piedmontese, special ingredients and butcher shop, located at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. Every type of meat and every type of cut. We are in the business. We've got about 12 minutes here, so we're going to jump right into a quick segment. Not quick segment, but it's not as long as the transfer portal. We could talk about transfer portal, possibilities for Nebraska, who possibly could be, in the portal for Nebraska, et cetera, et cetera. But as I alluded to on the me and Strick crossover is Reggie Bush. I've been following stuff. I know Reggie just a little bit, obviously just from meeting him, doing media stuff. Good dude. Interesting situation because when you dig into it, they really never, it's kind of like they knew, but they didn't know. And what they thought was the way that it was happening, it wasn't it. And, so forth and so on. There wasn't any hard evidence as far as him receiving benefits, personally. Right. But they stripped him of his Heisman. unjustly so, in my opinion. But now he's been trying to get back his Heisman. And so it came out today that the NCAA said that if the Heisman committee allow it, they would give him back their Heisman. And here's the interesting part. He had won an $8 million defamation lawsuit when they stripped him of the Heisman and accused him of something that he personally didn't do. $8 million bucks.
That's a lot of dollars.
So that's a lot of change. And Reggie's smart with his stuff because he also was able to sue the St. Louis Rams at the time for not having enough, because he got tackled out of bounds, and it was cement, slipped, tore his ACL, right. Future earnings and stuff like that, right? So, I mean, listen, Reggie's about his business, as he should. But the Heisman committee, it said that they would, right? They have they have the right to reinstate him, right? NCAA say, we're good with it. They got to sign off. They were in a meeting, so then everybody was interviewing Reggie Bush afterwards, and he said essentially he was told by them they would allow him to get his Heisman and back in good standings, and so forth and so on, if he went around to all the Heisman winners, most likely the ones that are good sound in mind, and get them to sign essentially a petition saying that they want him to have it back. Now, all of them or majority of them within my lifetime have all said that he deserves his Heisman. Like through media or through interviews on TV and stuff like that. They want them to sign like a petition. Reggie Bush said he would never do that because he never needed it before to win the Heisman, so he shouldn't have to be it afterwards. I guess his view is they aren't the judge and jury, and it'd be great because he knows he could, but he's like, he's not going to put them in a type of position to sign off on something that he's dealt with, that he feels that he was unjustly accused of, and then obviously held accountable for, which then therefore he wasn't, because then you wouldn't win the defamation lawsuit, so forth and so on. And also, Austin, I wanted to ask you this. Since the landscape of college football has drastically changed, and I think Reggie Bush is a person that kind of took it on the chin for it. Granted, everybody know that. Look, listen, you living in LA and you live in the way you live, and there was something going on, rightfully so, right? Maybe not at the right time, but rightfully so. And so, do you think, in your opinion, with what I just told you and the change of the landscape of college football, and obviously with the NCAA president coming out and saying essentially having a cap for the men's and women's, NIL, we'll get into that later. Do you think the NCAA should step in over the Heisman committee and do right by Reggie and bring it back? Or do you think Reggie should take it on the chin and go around and do something that he doesn't want to do by getting these guys to sign the petition? Because I think what he's afraid of, Austin, before you answer this, is that he goes and does it and they still don't give him back his Heisman.
Right.
The trust is already gone. What's your opinion on that?
To me, it comes down to, is the Heisman Trophy an NCAA award, or is it its own award outside of the NCAA?
Right.
Because he lost it for breaking NCAA rules, which tells me it's an NCAA award.
Yeah.
So if it is then an NCAA award, the NCAA should be the final authority in determining if he has it or gets it back. I get there's the Heisman Trust and the voters and that fraternity in there. So if it's their award, it's handed out outside of the scope of the NCAA, then it's up to the Heisman committee.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to make Reggie Bush, fly around the country, have his people fly around the country to have them sign this petition or whatever. Like, just mail it out, right? Yes, no, abstain. If he gets either a certain percentage of the vote, if it's unanimous, if that's what you need, or if there's no, some people just abstain because they just don't care, whatever. There are a lot better ways to do that than making Reggie Bush, go around and like ask his teachers to sign off on his homework sheet, essentially.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like, trying to hold a grown man accountable to a standard that they haven't had before. Because I'm willing to bet, I don't know for sure, but I'd be willing to bet if there was an investigation to every Heisman Trophy winner, I'm sure they receive some extra benefits.
And that part is what complicates it given today's day and age, right? What Reggie Bush is getting what he got back in the day, pennies compared to what he'd be getting today.
Right.
Right. I mean, if you think about it, it was like $290,000, I think, in total gifts.
Right.
Like not just cash, but everything added up to doing the same work today in LA than he was back then. So he could argue he was underpaid.
Yeah, he'd be
he
a
wasn't
discount.
getting
Right.
enough.
Right.
I do think it's fair to say that since the rules were different back then, if there was any impropriety, which again, he won the defamation lawsuit, so it seems like either it was going on behind his back, he didn't know about it, he should be clear. But let's just say he knew. Then yeah, he has to be held accountable due to the rules of the day. Unfair or not, the rules are getting changed. Yes, but that's what the rule was back then. So it's unfortunate, you feel bad for him. But I don't think you can apply today's standard with the rules still relatively unchanged to something that happened in the past.
Yeah, I'm total agree with you. I just think I think the whole thing was stupid because if you didn't catch him red-handed, why are you trying to make an example of him? Because the NCAA, the Heisman Trust, everybody made millions of dollars off of Reggie Bush. So if he got 300,000, they've made 300 million.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Right. And that's just being total conservative. And what he was doing, and he was a good representation, wasn't in trouble off the field and so forth and so on. It just seems that obviously it came down to an agent that didn't get the yes that he wanted. The agent should have known that, right? You go around and try to buy a player, it doesn't mean that you're going to get him, him or her, or he or she. So that's just look. You want to play. This is the thing. I think it's a good learning lesson, right? If you want to play, you can't. If you want to play this game of, I'm going to help you break NCAA rules. I'm going to pad your pockets. I'm going to be there. I'm going to fly your parent, whatever it is. If you want to play those games, right? There is no guarantee. So when it doesn't work out for you, you have to chalk it up to the game. That's the way it is. And I mean, and whatever happened, that's between Reggie Bush and whoever else was whoever was given the benefits and whoever received the benefits. But ultimately, Reggie Bush was not the person being on the receiving end. Right. So therefore, why are you stripping him? That'd be like, say I was a senior in college and somebody knew my cousin or uncle or best friend, and they hey, we need you to influence Jay to come to our, marketing company or agency, and they get him a car. What does that got to do with me? And I mean, just because at that point in time, that's the way kind of where it was. It was a indirect, direct connection. So,
and I think that can flashes back to James Wiseman at Memphis, right? Penny helped his parents get a house,
right?
And that is a big deal, right, for some families. So I understand where that behind the scenes, even if Wiseman never set foot in that house, even if Reggie Bush never rode in that car, whatever it was, like, no, it doesn't affect them, but kind of it does. To me, it matters when in the process that this happened, right? Was the car when this family member started pushing for someone to go there, or was the player hand delivered? Did he pick the school? And then as a reward for that, was the house given, the car given? I think that timing makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and you just never know. You just never know, what could happen. I mean, just being, like when I was in Buffalo, and this is different. I was a professional, but it's no different. If I went to the University of Miami, I could have, my dad knew some people down there. I could have maybe, got a little bit of break on rent. It wasn't an extra benefit. It's a family connection. It's a personal connection. Is that a friend? You know what I'm saying? So you just never know when it could happen and the reasons of it. Sometimes you could, it's Reggie Bush's parents. All right, I'm a USC fan. You know what? This is the 30th. I got 30 houses that I rent out. All right, I'm gonna charge him a third. I'm not even gonna charge. I'm just whatever I pay. I'm not gonna make any money. I'm not gonna cash flow it for a year. There's all different types of things that could go on, and when it went on, it's just very interesting that it feels like the NCAA thinks that Reggie Bush should be reinstated. It's just like the Heisman is like they're dragging their feet a little bit, and I don't understand it because yes, you want to hold the Heisman Trophy winners to a pretty high standard. Not all of them have been to a high standard.
And that's, to your point, why punish Reggie of all of them? An upstanding guy.
Who has been a great advocate for student athletes and has talked candidly about it. Has been a good representation of a NFL player. Everywhere he's been, he's held himself with, held himself to a high standard first class, has done very well for himself, represents the NCAA indirectly. He's on TV every week. I think he calls games. I don't think he calls games. He does the pre-games and stuff like that. So you're seeing him. It's not like somebody that you like, yeah, you know what we originally thought. That's why we have taken his Heisman. So it's not like he sold his Heisman. So it'll be interesting to see if there's come to some conclusion. There's a very easy way for it to where both Reggie and the Heisman committee can come to some sort of compromise. Obviously, the ultimate compromise will be him getting his Heisman back, reinstated, and then Reggie Bush tries to find some way to maybe get involved to make sure that doesn't happen again, even though the landscape of college football has changed. Because ultimately, it'd be better for the game. It would show not only college football, athletics, the world. There is some sort of compromise. It can't just be, all right, I made a decision, and we're just going to deal with it. And yeah, things have changed, and there's some stuff that changed, landscapes have changed, so we're just going to just stick back to it. This seems like very hard line, ignorant, and then very hard-headed way to be. And with the way that college football is, even though there's different rules back then, you can still have some concessions with it. Be very mindful of it. And it just seems very interesting. They met today specifically about Reggie Bush, and you didn't come to a conclusion. And the best conclusion you can say is like, okay, we want to embarrass you, go around and ask everybody for forgiveness.
Get on your hands and knees.
Right. I mean, everybody knows Reggie Bush is the Heisman Trophy winner. It's no different than like Gretna a couple years. Right. It was like their eighth team receiver. They were the state champs.
2013 Louisville won the national championship.
They're the champs. They're the champs.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, everybody knows they're the champs. And so if you want to, strip him of it and be, when he's 40, 50 years old, then give it back to him. So be it if you want to continue to sit on that. But by the time you do it and make that decision, it won't be as impactful. You know what I'm saying? It's a time to think about when we can make a decision, or they can make a decision that's going to be as impactful on both sides. For Reggie, for NCAA, for the Heisman committee, and some sort of where they can all operate together, versus 5 or 10 years from now, nobody even cares.
When it's tired, it's dragged out. I mean, Reggie's visible right now, right? Who knows if he'll still be in media in 5-10 years? And that's harder for him to, get his name back.
Right.
I mean, that means everything. Reputation is everything. And it's been, dragged through the mud quite a bit through little at most to no fault of his own, really.
Because I think USC
give him his
is
flowers now.
USC has welcomed him back, right? Him and Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
So if the university has welcomed him back, right? There's a blue blood, long history of Heisman Trophy winners. Probably the Heisman committee could probably do so as well. So yeah. Well, anyways, good first segment. Myself and Austin in today for Old School. Now next after this, a quick break. Then we're going to come back and we're going to look at the quarterback pool in the transfer portal. Where we think they're going to go. Is it a good crop, let's say? And we'll probably maybe forecast, maybe see if Nebraska, who are they going to get? Jay Foreman and Austin. Old School, we'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through December 5th is spend $75 and get a 2-pound prepackaged pecano roast for free. Limit 3 per visit while supplies last. Also, through the 5th, get 20% off all cheese and crackers. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket Studio.
Enjoy some Heavenly Waffles this December 6th at the 93.7 Ticket Studio at 1040 O Street. Parking available along 11th Street or in nearby garages.
Become a member of the YMCA today and enjoy access to all 4 Lincoln locations. Free group fitness classes along with member pricing for the whole family on youth programs such as swimming, dance, and basketball. The YMCA even offers free health assessments to kickstart your workout. Start the new year off right as a member of the YMCA and enjoy no initiation fees through the end of the month. For a list of locations and to join, visit ymcalincoln.org. The YMCA, for a better us.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday season is upon us. And wow, do we have some really awesome incentives to share with you. Right now at Koppel, we're offering 0.9% interest rates or $6,000 off select Chevrolet and GMC models. Yes, you heard right, 0.9% or $6,000 off select new models. In addition, Costco customers can get special incentives for this entire month. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus with approved credit.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular membership, the PF Black Card, is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Old school, Jay Foreman, Austin Orman on the ones and twos. Good segment there. Hopefully Reggie Bush gets his trophy back, man. It's a long time coming. Who knows when it'll come to some sort of conclusion. And the funny thing about that is that it didn't get a lot of media fair. Obviously, the transfer portal. I think the NCAA president coming out and had a suggestion possibly for NIL and paying kids directly, so forth and so on, took over the airways, plus plenty of other things in the news. Obviously, the flight tracker for Nebraska is in full effect, right? I don't even know. Is that even accurate when people post those on Twitter?
I have no idea how they get that information. It is incredibly creepy and disturbing to me that they would be able to track flights like that.
What would be funny is since there was big news, right? I did see which is confirmed that a private donor gave pretty much a jet to Nebraska for free, and then Nebraska decided, or in conjunction with that, will pay the like $1.5 million in like maintenance and all that crap, right? So essentially, just like a bookkeeping thing. It seems like.
Right.
But anyways, I mean, it's still a great gesture, whoever that is. Thank you very much. Look, I'm open for donation. Yeah, we're here for donations. Austin, before we jump into the transfer portal, if I wanted to be petty Pat as a coach, right, and just got sick of people trying to wonder what my assistant coaches would do, I would have our assistant coaches just fly around for a day. Granted, I wouldn't do it just because of the amount of money and the resources it would take, but just to do it, just to mess with people. Oh, he's going to Idaho, or something like that, or just somewhere Iowa. He just took a jet from Lincoln to Podunk, Iowa.
Flew into Boise.
Yeah, flew somewhere
there for 5 hours. What's he doing?
Or I'd fly to like Mankato, Minnesota, or something. Somewhere where there's not a quarterback within 500 miles, but I'm gonna fly in there, or fly into Madison just to do something, just so people are like, where's he going? Or where's the coaches going, just to do so, and or just find a way to maybe change the tag or something for somebody that has a business trip. They're flying into like Moline or something like that in Moline, Illinois. So they're like, who's he trying to recruit? Then everybody's trying to get on the internet and try to figure out where they're going. But look at that, whether it's true, how true, who knows? It's recruiting season. From December 1st, I think you could start recruiting because you had a little bit of a dead period. Then the portal opened on Monday. It was open way before then. Realistically, you got to be active. I was talking with another colleague and from another network or whatever, national guy, and he was asking. We were just talking about Nebraska, and I'd like to canvas those guys just because he takes the emotion away, and they're looking at it from a 47 other state view, college football view. He's a pro guy actually, but
also insightful in some way.
Right, insightful in some way. Looks at it from a professional standpoint. And he was like, and I kind of agree with him. Like if I was Matt Rule, I wouldn't say I wouldn't be mad, but I'd be looking at people a little bit different because of, in a coach's view, realistically, there was improvement. Obviously not enough to get to a bowl game. And I would probably say, okay, I'll take it as the head coach. We didn't make a bowl game, but realistically, we were a better team and improved. But all he's probably heard of like, some media guys, bashing the players, bashing what the coaches did. Yes, these coaches are learning what it's like to be in the Big Ten. It's a step up for everybody.
Well, you've called it the biggest job they've ever had.
It is. And it might be the biggest job they ever get. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's why every day it's got to be 360. There is no off days. There's no off days for the players. There's no off days for administration. There just isn't. There never
can't afford to have off days.
When we were winning, there was no off days. So now it's even worse. So you better find a way to do an extra hour a day. But for him, you probably be like looking at some people sideways and maybe taking some notes and saying, okay, this is how you're reacting. Because in a lot of ways okay, we've had a pretty potentially third-team all-conference quarterback last year in Casey Thompson. Had an NFL receiver in Trey. Had a two all-conference type outside linebackers and Cam Taylor-Britt and Cam Jurgens and all them, right? Or the year before, excuse me. But you had some NFL players before. And you won 4 games, and I won 5, right? With the same guys, same cast of characters, and some guys playing a lot better than they ever played before and more consistent, right? So then that's probably what he's probably looking at it like. Now, granted, he probably was saying that we gave away from a coaching perspective. We beat ourselves at least 2 games for sure, 3, I could argue, maybe even 4, right? So there's still a lot of work to be done. And then saying, okay, you got boat raced by Michigan, you got beat by Colorado. Every other game felt like you probably got in your own way and assisted teams in beating you.
In Minnesota, week 1 was week 1. A week earlier than anyone else is playing. You get the extra week of practice before that. But first game as a new staff is that collection. You got in your own way, but it happens in week 1.
And also, I would say that's a game that essentially we gift wrapped. Handed it right to them. You got to think with people that the play that Kyle McManus threw to the corner. It's a iconic play and go for history for catch, right? They went 5-7. It's not a season changing play. It's a iconic play that when the recruits walk in, that's what they're going to see, right? Foot barely in. If you throw it 100 times, they catch it that one time.
Right.
People forget on third down, we dropped a hand in the bag, a can of corn. Like we're going to reference when you played center field, right?
Yep.
A can of corn. That was essentially the same.
Yeah.
Game's over.
Done.
Right. Had nothing to do with Minnesota. We dropped it. Boom. Game time. Walk off. Throw the hats up. Do whatever. Get the TikToks and stuff going in the locker room and all that. So I mean, I would be looking at a lot different. But also, even though you use it as fuel, is the players, right? I would say, there's a lot of players that probably played decently enough to be considered, obviously, for being on all conference, second, third, or whatever. A lot of them honorable mention. If you feel that you were not on the list, you're justified to be on it. Well, then this is the time to prove it. Get to work right now. This is. Like, I think I would try to implore these guys to understand, look, yes, you should be resting. Yes, you should be, obviously, school's very important and all that stuff. And you should be working on your NIL. And I'm sure that is being addressed as it is for the guys that are coming back. I'm assuming, right?
Should be.
But you're doubling down. You're making deposits on your NIL, right? Continuously by the way that you work, right? And how you approach the game. The time is now. Like, you did good last year. You did good last year, right? You did. Let's say you just did okay last year, right? You're okay. You're a C, C minus, C plus, whatever. However you want to do it. Whatever you wake up, or C plus, right? You were average last year, but that doesn't mean you can't go from average to good to great. It just comes down to getting better. And the reason why I say that is because when we had Jason Peter on last Friday, I asked him, like, the Jason Peter, a redshirt freshman, he told you he was 300 pounds and out of shape. The dude I saw when I was a freshman starting and he was a sophomore was 285 and was obviously on the way to be that dude. And then obviously from there, you see him continue to progress to be All-American, so forth. Then there's history books. The dude that I was out there as a redshirt, we were just trying to stay out of the way and make some plays, and so we weren't a detriment. Then you mature into it. So you can get better. And I think sometimes kids and fans and coaches sometimes are so fixated on what you're doing right away, and then just that's it. Now, sometimes you can project that because the kid ain't a worker early and doesn't really love football, then, they just are happy just to be here. Steak and sweatsuit guys. They like those steaks and they like the sweatsuits and stuff like that. And sometimes that changes people. They just aren't internally motivated. But if you got a guy that's willing to work and wants to learn, he'll get a lot better.
And sometimes it takes a year or two, I'm sure, to be in a system for that light to click on for some guys. Sometimes it's right away, right?
Yeah.
That's why you can't give up on players, right? If they're not working hard as a freshman because they've gotten by with talent for so long. Maybe that's what they picked up in high school. Maybe deep down they are driven. They just need that fire lit, that kick in the pants to, get them to work hard. But that's why I think Matt Rule's vision of team building isn't giving up on guys after 1 year. It's not, hey, you were bad this year. You didn't do your best. Sorry, that was your chance. You're gone, right? There's a line where you've seen enough and you have to have an idea of what this guy is. But what if Matt Rule had said, sorry, Ty Robinson, you're not living up to your recruiting rankings.
Yeah, well,
Go hit the transfer portal. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. Abdul Muhammad, my first year, he used to just be putting in work on me. I mean, I would know what route he was doing, and he would just change up a little bit, and I just couldn't stop him. For the first, I mean, it might be towards the end of the year I started making some plays or making a little bit harder on him and stuff like that. But so if you saw me then, you'd be like, man, this dude can't cover. This dude can't play linebacker. This dude, I mean, that's the way it is. And so I just think that, look, right now, I think, you got a lot of PTSD on what coaches have said and done and haven't done in the past. But, these guys have worked pretty hard. No, they do need, they're all learning. You got an extremely young staff. I didn't know Dvorak, the linebacker coach, isn't even 30 yet.
No.
Because, I mean, heck, man, that dude probably used to watch me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like
we talk so much about McGuire being so young, but Dvorak,
he's right there with him. Yeah. So both of them, anytime you're under 30, but so it's a big job for them, and so they're learning. And that doesn't mean that as much as we're saying, guys have starting to mature and get better and more consistent. That's the same with the coaches. Now, look, there's two ways to look at it. You expect them to be at a certain level, but I would say the coaching staff that I was able to come into at Nebraska towards the back end of the, those guys being together is probably the best version of themselves versus when they first start coaching.
And probably the exception, right? Not many guys walk into a coaching staff that stable with that much experience and know their roles that well.
And not a lot of turnover. And you had the iconic head coach that had been through the fires. I remember when I wasn't even a Nebraska fan, Coach Osborne, they were like, oh, he's hitting the wall. I think they lost 3 games trying to run him out of Lincoln. Then he was up for the New York Giants job. Me and Jason Peter joked about Coach Osborne trying to coach Lawrence Taylor and those guys. I don't think that would have worked out too well. But again, he was up for those jobs and then get so close and have that magical year in '93 and lose. Right. That's why I don't feel bad for Florida State.
Right.
And so, look, man, so I can't speak for Coach Osborne, but I can only imagine Coach Osborne in the first year of being a head coach versus the one that when he was leaving, he's 10 times better when he left. I mean, it's just, you're only as good as your assistants. So as his assistants got better, they knew what he was looking for. That might have changed. They adapted. They changed from a 50 front to a 40 front. For you people out there, there's 5 guys and essentially the old school kind of 5 men down, 2 linebackers, very slow defense to 4 guys and having more like 1 true linebacker and kind of hybrids in between, was able to do that. You had to maybe take your lumps a couple of times, and it changed the way you recruited. It changed the way that you looked and evaluated players. So it's always a evolution things of just like people, they used to say people's personalities change every 7 years. I think it's about 2 now. Social media might even every day, you might be something else. So I think it's a process that goes on. And as we look and evaluate this transfer portal and the team, and that's where Matt Rule probably feels a little bit more confident in the team than the lazy thinker of, okay, now we got to go attack the portal and go try to get some guys and try to, I think last year was different where you're trying to like fill a roster and hoping for depth and getting guys to, find, fill some roles. Some have worked out. Some exceeded expectations. Some stayed, at expectations. And then some were maybe, a little bit lower expectations. But I think some of them started to kind of creep up to being a little bit of average expectations. Now you need everybody to take what they did last year and accentuate that and go a lot higher. And then you'll be, we'll be having a different conversation here from a year from now. But it's a good segment there. We got a little bit off of track, though. But we're going to jump back into this portal thing because these quarterbacks, boy, I know what they're thinking. They're not thinking right. And I want what we need to do, Austin. We're going to look at it. We're going to pick two guys that are going to get their feelings hurt.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to have a quick segment here, and then at the top of the hour, we're going to figure out who's going to get their feelings hurt. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110 inches. Enhance your curb appeal with an exquisite tailored light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here to tell you that there's never been a better time to buy flooring. Whether you need carpet, wood flooring, ceramic tile, vinyl, area rugs, or custom blinds, you got to come to O Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Become a member of the YMCA today and enjoy access to all 4 Lincoln locations. Free group fitness classes along with member pricing for the whole family on youth programs such as swimming, dance, and basketball. The YMCA even offers free health assessments to kickstart your workout. Start the new year off right as a member of the YMCA and enjoy no initiation fees through the end of the month. For a list of locations and to join, visit ymcalincoln.org. The YMCA, for a better us.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Jay Foreman, Austin? Quick segment before we get to the top of the hour. We'll always do it. And then Austin's going to be off and Harrison's going to come in, pinch hit, substitute teach, you know. Nick was funny today. He tried to ask me who my favorite was. I like all you guys. I've been really, I would say this, I've been very fortunate. I've done radio at times with guys that make it hard. You guys make it really easy. So I've been very fortunate for you guys that are producers. I just look at you guys as like partners. Not into the whole talent producer thing. So I've been fortunate. Broke Nick in, had Nate, done some stuff with Bach, done stuff with Rico. And then Austin came in and has been knocking it out the park. So I've been very blessed. But Austin, I wanted to ask you, I got to see a little bit of a rerun of Pat McAfee show. It was Aaron Rodgers' day. He was in the studio, which is weird because he's supposed to be trying to rehab.
You would think.
Yeah. But he said he's a modern day miracle of medicine. I would like that medicine because I have a neck, I have 2 shoulders, I have a back, I have a hip, and 2 ankles that would
kill whatever he's got.
Yeah, whatever you got, brother. Bottle up, start
NFL
selling.
fraternity. Come on, pass it down the line.
Yeah. He has said that I want your opinion that the leak of Zach Wilson essentially not wanting to go back and play and the criticism of Zach Wilson is unjust. What are your thoughts?
Yes and no. On a professional level, I have no idea what Zach Wilson's doing. Like, dude, your career's on life support. Go play.
Yeah.
You don't have another choice. You've been
Right.
bad. I get it. The offensive line isn't great, but what choice do you have? Go play. But I've also never been in Zach Wilson's shoes to where he's the promised one. Hey, we're excited about him. We took him number 2 overall, and he doesn't play well. Then he's benched. And, oh, wait, now we need you again because our other guy got injured, so we love you again. Oh, wait, you're still bad. We remember we don't like you. Here's the bench again. And, oh, wait, just kidding. We didn't like our 3rd string either, so get back in the spotlight. I can only imagine how tough that would be on him, kind of that whiplash.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think using New York as an excuse is fair, right? It doesn't matter what market you're in. You should treat your guy the best. Like, make a decision with him. Don't leave him strung out there. So I can understand emotionally why he might not be feeling it and be ready for a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you just be reluctant to go play? Like, you have to play. Try to create some value to get yourself up out of there.
Yeah, I think it's a catch-22. I don't think it was ever a good match in the first place, right? I wasn't sold on Zach Wilson as a prospect, period. I saw him. He's very small. He has a good arm and athletic, but very small. The way he played does not transition to the NFL. And I don't think any young quarterback, if you don't have the right support system around you and come from somewhere where you've had to deal with immense pressure, playing in games with immense pressure, meaning week in and week out, preparing to play against the best, it's not meant for you. And he went to an organization at the time, has a good owner, but not a very good team.
Right.
So I've seen this and I lived it with David Carr. And I will stand on the top of the mountain and champion for David Carr. I felt like if they handled him right, his easy more conservatively, that his career would be a lot different. I felt like they essentially stymied any type of progress that he could ever do. And that's the same thing with Zach Wilson. Now, I think Zach Wilson, the sins of his work ethic in the past are here now reaping their head. It's not, now granted, the offensive line isn't very good, but some of the mistakes he makes are some of the things of you're not taking what the defense gives you. And then now you're trying to do something you're not capable of. That's because your study habits, your work habits, so forth and so on. Just because Aaron Rodgers has been around for a few months doesn't mean that you're Aaron Rodgers-esque. Aaron Rodgers that you're seeing now is the same guy that sat around and learned, not sat around, that took the time to learn from Brett Favre and practiced it, got better, motivated by it for 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You took 2-3 years to do what you always done, which is try to get by, and now you're here trying to do it. Ultimately, then, if last year everybody said you weren't a good teammate, you didn't take accountability. Yes, you weren't playing well when they benched you after going in there for Aaron Rodgers. Circumstances, situation didn't help you either. But to have a chance to right the wrong right now, and ultimately, what you're saying is you don't want to get hurt, so it doesn't hurt your value to go somewhere else. I'm telling you right now, you can't go nowhere.
Who's taking him?
Nobody's taking you. And then to be honest with you, if you don't think the Jets are going to try to find a way to unload you right now with your cap number, you're really, you're sadly mistaken. And so you're missing a golden opportunity because is whoever's fault it was the first time you got benched, your lasting memory is what you'll be evaluated on. Your lasting memory now is, whether it's leaked or not, ultimately the coaches talk, right? And coaches are petty. You decided not to go into the game. You decided not to answer the bell. Now, what they know about you isn't just this coaching staff. It's the whole league. That's why I think, Aaron Rodgers can go to bat for you. As much as Aaron Rodgers was an advocate for you, he was actually your worst enemy. So that's a good learning lesson there, too, for a lot of people out there as well. So good first hour. We're going to turn it over and bring Harrison in.
Good luck with the sub.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mind your P's and Q's.
Well, Harrison, he keep you online. Listen, you stand up out of your chair, you getting a name on the board. I would have 2 check marks, 3, I'd be down in the principal. So anyways, Austin, I'll see you in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
At 6 o'clock for the Mon Green Show. So we're going to go to a break and come back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Constructors Inc., a Nebco company, is now hiring heavy equipment mechanics to maintain fleet equipment and vehicle operations. Constructors offers mechanics a competitive salary, 4-day work weeks with overtime options, a $5,000 hiring bonus, a tool allowance, and great benefits. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Apply today for their mechanic positions. Visit constructorslincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday season is upon us. And wow, do we have some really awesome incentives to share with you. Right now at Koppel, we're offering 0.9% interest rates or $6,000 off select Chevrolet and GMC models. Yes, you heard right, 0.9% or $6,000 off select new models. In addition, Costco customers can get special incentives for this entire month. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus with approved credit.
Become a member of the YMCA today and enjoy access to all 4 Lincoln locations. Free group fitness classes along with member pricing for the whole family on youth programs such as swimming, dance, and basketball. The YMCA even offers free health assessments to kickstart your workout. Start the new year off right as a member of the YMCA and enjoy no initiation fees through the end of the month. For a list of locations and to join, visit ymcalincoln.org. The YMCA, for a better us.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. The holidays are here, and Fairway has everything you need for charcuterie boards, shrimp trays, party platters, wine, beer, spirits, and more. Plus, custom fresh cuts on USDA choice or prime grade beef, all natural pork, fresh chicken, and seafood. Your holiday meals start at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Bank Strong, and the Ad Council.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, Old School? Jay Foreman. We got Harrison in, filling in for Austin, who's on the way to set up a remote. I'm going to do a quick drive-by appearance there for the Mon Green Show. But we are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. Harrison, you got to look at the Grinch there riding shotgun. they look at, when you're down here at 1040 O Street, we're live. You see plenty of things. Somebody has a Grinch stuffed animal riding shotgun with the window down, so they definitely want to see that, right? hey, it keeps things entertained here as we move towards Christmas. I guess a little bit of breaking news. If you saw the game last night, Jaguars quarterback Lawrence only has a high ankle sprain.
Mm-hmm.
And so the good thing about it is that initial reports where people thought his tibia and fibula was broke, high ankle sprain is not. It's not a fun injury. I've had plenty of them, but there's a possibility that he could come back depending on the grade within a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And Trevor Lawrence, obviously is thought of to be the next in line right under, Patrick Mahomes and all that kind of Justin Herbert, type of level of playing. Took Jacksonville to the playoffs. They're in the playoff hunt right now. And so the backup quarterback is going to have to step in and do some stuff. But I think that, Doug Peterson and company are definitely happy with that outcome after a loss as well at home, that he has a high ankle sprain. I will be back towards the end of the season at the longest. So, Harrison, I'm not sure if you've been here. We're hearing this. So we were talking about the transfer portal quarterback crop.
So I've been looking at some guys, Colin McCord possibly from Ohio State,
Yeah.
Howard obviously Kansas State. That was one a lot of people saw early, but McCord surprised me a lot. I saw basically all I'm really seeing is a bunch of coaches following him on Twitter. I mean, read the tea leaves, make what you want of it. It's not a ton of evidence. Flight tracker level, but it shows you they're at least
Sam Levitt from Michigan State just shows that they're interested. There's probably interest in every quarterback. You got to think, you got Aiden Childs that came in. He's at Michigan State. He came from Oregon State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to go there with Coach Smith. Then you got Dante Moore, right? Who's thought of potentially to go to Michigan. I had thought that he was going to go to Oregon because that came down to UCLA or Oregon, but he's going to go to. And then you got Cam Ward, who has a Kyle McCord kind of indirect connection. Cam Ward is thought of to go to Ohio State. Essentially, McCord got wind. Everybody else started to either go in the transfer portal from offense and defense. All their NFL guys will potentially declare. It'll be a lot different Ohio State team that plays Missouri, coming up. So then you got Will Howard, right? Like you mentioned, Nebraska's interested. I think he has 1 year remaining. They have a ranking thing here on 24/7 Sports. He'd be equivalent of a 4-star recruit. Right underneath him is Riley Leonard, already going to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's an interesting one. It was Brock Vandegrift.
Where's he from?
Georgia, already picked Kentucky. Yeah, exactly.
That was quick.
That was quick.
He knew where he was going.
And who are you, right?
Yeah.
But a good friend. You got Dylan Gabriel, thought to go to Oregon.
That's the one. Can you explain to me with Dylan Gabriel why he hit the portal?
That
one surprised me the most. Out of a guy that he's the man on the campus. Good system. They're definitely they're giving him the keys.
Right. And you have the ability. You're going to the SEC with high profile. And there's not a lot of quarterbacks in the SEC.
I thought that is exactly what he would want.
Right. You think about, and you're the new team. Everybody's trying to see what you're going to do. Maybe he fell in love with what Bo Nix was able to do, but what he doesn't understand is Bo Nix was there for 2 years. It's not just you're known in Oklahoma. They're comfortable with you.
Mm-hmm.
Venables want you. Like it's not like a linebacker. I always say linebackers. It's kind of like you feel like you're always replaceable, right? Because if you don't mess up, you just won't be an eyesore. Quarterback. And to play at the level that he has and play consistently as he did this year, he was up for the Heisman at one point or in the Heisman talk this year. The jump ship to go to Oregon or going to portal, maybe it's a move to get more NIL money, but I think that doing that is kind of impulsive and not very businesslike, because I think if you went to them and said, listen, I feel like I've exceeded whatever NIL deal I've had before. We need to come to some sort of conclusion by this date, or I will go in the portal. Maybe that was a conversation. Seemed like it kind of was already predetermined that he had already found a place that he's going, potentially Oregon. Of course, Kyle McCord is in there. Will Rogers, Mississippi State, established veteran quarterback, going to Washington. Interesting. Another one here, battled a lot of injuries this year. And 2 years ago was thought to be a potential first-round pick, Tyler Van Dyke from the University of Miami. Great arm, great stats, injuries in and out of the lineup, which kind of showed when he played well, Miami played well.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, indirectly hurt Florida State, because if Miami got there, then it would be, obviously a higher ranking for Florida State, so forth and so on. The most interesting one was New Hampshire's quarterback, Max Brosmer. In the portal, out of the portal to Minneapolis. PJ Flex, number 1 draft pick, was a 4-star, 0.9 or 90 ranking. That's pretty good. Then there's other ones that you could, bargain shop. You got Grayson McCall, right? Coastal Carolina. I'm not sure what he's doing either. But
do you think how much tampering do you think goes on for these guys that find a home that quick? Do you think there's a level that we're not seeing?
There's some tampering, right? And that's just natural, and that's fine, right? There's tampering, and they should. There's tampering on both ways.
That's fair,
right? So if you're a quarterback, I'm your high school coach, you're telling me you want to go in the portal. We have a list of coaches that recruited you, and you had your last, your top 8. Well, I'm going to do a lot of the work. So this is what they're saying, right? That's my job as an advisor, coach, parent, or whatever. There's tampering going both ways. But I also think there's another section of tampering. And it's the what you would like or what you hear, which isn't reality type of tampering. You're jumping in there thinking your stuff is a lot sweeter than it is. Grayson McCall, you're essentially an iconic figure on campus down there, Coastal Carolina. Tim Beck's the coach. Maybe he kind of isn't showing you the love, and you might get pushed out. Sure. Great landing spot might be North Carolina State, right? Conversely, on the other side. DJ Ungule, right? From Clemson, the former number 1 overall recruit.
That's the one that surprised me as well. I can get it in his case, but it's like you see those names come back up again. You almost forget about some of these QBs.
It was weird that he left Clemson to go to Oregon State. But a former coach was at Oregon State, right? Okay. Now he has success. His coach leaves. I'm surprised he's already going to Michigan State. That's the biggest surprise. I'm not surprised he's in there because the coach left. I'm surprised he's not already 100% to Michigan State.
Yeah, because their quarterbacks cleared out. They all hit the portal.
They hit it as soon as he touched down. They were out of there. He had one meeting. He said, "Hi, bye, see you later." Right? Other one is Nate Johnson. Hadn't been able to play, but has potential.
Real quick, speaking of those Michigan State quarterbacks, we do have one unknown texter asking if those interest you at all. It says Hauser and what's the other one?
Levitt.
And
Noah Kim.
You interested in any of those QBs from Michigan State?
I'd Hauser, not as much. I'd be interested in Levitt and also Noah Kim. But depends on what they're expecting and what I'm wanting.
That's the big thing, right? Like, I don't even care about the stars on a lot of these guys because we've seen that.
It's all projection.
Yeah, it's projections. If it doesn't fit your system, guess what? I don't care if he's a 4 or 5 star. If you don't have the same ideology that he has going into that, like the coaches and the players got to be on the same page, hitting the portal, because that player is looking to go to a greener pasture, and you have to be on the same page. Otherwise, you can see a disaster happen, which unfortunately Nebraska, you can argue that's what happened this year. Just an absolute disaster and set our program back. So, I don't even worry about the stars. We just need to get a guy that's going to fit our program. And do we want a dual threat? Do we want a pocket passer?
You just want a good quarterback.
Exactly.
You just want a quarterback that can, and I'm not, as we're talking about this doesn't mean that Chubba Purdy can't get in the lab and get a ton better, right?
Yeah, I expect it to be a competition this summer.
Doesn't mean Heinrich Haarberg can't figure out to get the mechanics and play better, right? So they can still control their own destiny, because all these quarterbacks, all the top end quarterbacks, I assume most likely won't end up at Nebraska unless they kind of fall in your lap. So the guys that are coming in aren't a guaranteed starter, because if you accept the challenge and then you defeat the challenge, we are in a position they have to play you. You know what I'm saying? They got to play you. It's literally roll the ball out there. If you got 3 dudes going for it, for some time until their separation, it's going to be even Steven as far as reps, right? Now, the guy that comes in, I'm assuming, or the guys that come in from the portal, they have a good idea where they would start, but that doesn't mean where they're going to finish, because I always say this: what you did at whatever zip code or area code that you were at before is the kind of a estimation. Only thing that matters is what you do here, right?
Yeah, I mean,
because we've seen it on both ends, right? We've seen Samari Toure be really good at a smaller school, come here and be really good here. We've seen Trey Palmer not do much down there at LSU, right? Down there on the depth chart, gets an opportunity, kicks it apart. We've seen guys that go from all other places, come here, supposed to do something, don't match up. So I think it's going to be huge. And I think, Nebraska, look, I don't think Nebraska is going to be as active as people like to think. I think people get so excited by the transfer portal because it's new. It's like recruiting.
Yeah.
All your answers aren't there. I always say this: the improvement and the development and the mental toughness and all the stuff that you need to win to take that jump to be a, bowl eligible team and get to 6, 7, 8, possibly 9 wins, whatever, be consistent, is over there right now. That's where you're going to get majority of it.
Yeah.
The guys that you're getting in there, I gotta add to it, right?
Well, it's like that Mel Tucker experiment at Michigan State.
Right.
That was like a transfer portal team, and that year was a good year for them. They straight back to reality.
Right.
Once those players are gone,
TCU last year, right?
A good one. Yeah,
right.
Didn't even go bowling.
You got to think, Max Duggan wasn't even the starter at the beginning of the year. End up in the Heisman. So everything's got to end up right. Like all the stars got to align. Next position, I think, possibly to look at. I'm just guessing, just based on injury history here, and then I think Emmett Johnson has really done a really good job of solidifying, being in that conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, and is the running back position, right? And one of them is the only reason I have talked about or will talk about him is Donald Chaney Jr. from Miami. Now I don't know if Nebraska's play. Look, you're going from Miami to Lincoln. I don't know if it's something that he might think of, but I'm also thinking like, okay, it might be where you think a type of player like this. He was the starter at Miami, very productive, head and shoulders the starter. He was the guy that everybody was like, why are we running the ball? He ran the ball because it was actually a conventional run, fumbled against Georgia Tech, and essentially he was distraught and he was on the milk carton after that. So look, a running back that fumbled at that point in time, coming here, I don't know if that's I don't know that I don't know if that would be the articles that you want on any of the thing, but I'm talking about that type of player, right? Okay, our running back coach just came from UConn. I don't know I've never seen this young man run, but Devontae Houston's in there. He knows him better than anybody else, right? He's recruited him. He's developed him. He at least knows who he is.
That works out pretty well.
It works out pretty well. And listen, for somebody to jump on the table and slam their hand on the table, and I always remember this when I was down in Houston helping out as an intern on the scout, and I saw J.J. Watt work out, and I remember talking to Wade Phillips. I was like, dude, this dude's on 285 pounds doing linebacker drops. He looked better than I ever did. I ain't never seen nobody move like that. But they were going back and forth. Is he a defensive end? Can we trim him down, be outside linebacker? I said, listen, that dude can get to the quarterback in Wade's system, because Wade's system is very player friendly. You're going to do what you do best, and that's it. And Wade he's very mild mannered, doesn't have like a authoritative type of personality. When I talk about he banged on the table for J.J. Watt, he said, I'm going to put my career on it. He said, I think he's like Howie Long. And he said it in the war room, per se, and obviously afterwards. Rest is history. No, I'm not saying Devontae Houston's going to end up being Mike Rozier or something, but what I'm saying is, for a coach that has some background, if this is somebody they want to potentially look towards or bring in and be like compete for a spot, they already know it. He knows if he can take the leap from UConn to Nebraska. And it might have been, I don't know the history of him, but I'll just see it right here. He's, according to 24/7, he's a 3-star, and he's the 5th ranked running back in there. And that's pretty good to be. Now, as right now, we know that it's going to be. Listen,
it's going to load up.
Yeah, it's going to load up. But
portal is going to. You're going to have some players that think they're going to a greener pasture.
But I will tell you this: I don't know all the little emojis or icon things. He has the thing that's ascending star. That means he is a rising 3-star. So that means he must have done something good and has the potential, right? Where you think of what he could possibly bring. He's 5'10", 163. This dude must be a scat back.
5'10", 163?
I don't think that can't be right, man.
5'10", 163.
He's from Alabama. I doubt that. They have pinto beans down there, man.
I have a hard time believing he weighs less than I do.
That's like a wide receiver.
Can you imagine me playing running back?
Yeah.
At D1 Power 5?
I've seen you move. You got some quick. You look like you get in and out of your breaks pretty good, though. Yeah. So it's one thing I was going to say, Austin. Me and here's also a update though. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are leading the football transfer rankings. They're number one. This is the only time that they're going to probably be number one in any ranking in NCAA football. They're leading. Guess who's number 2? Cal. You know who's number 3? Notre Dame. Why? Because they both all got their quarterbacks.
Yep.
And North Carolina is 5. Guess who's number 7? You will never guess who's number 7 and 8. Now, granted, there's only 8 teams ranked.
Give me the conference.
Hold on. They're in the FCS playoffs right now.
Oh man!
Wait.
Okay, give me Southern Illinois.
Nope.
Idaho.
South Dakota State. And guess who's at Utah State's number 8? Now, granted, those are only 8 teams that have been active, but a lot of it's based on quarterback. So, one thing right here, I wanted to ask you, me and Austin, we're going to think of is, of all the top quarterbacks that are still left. So you think of Dante Moore, Cam Ward, Will Howard, the ones that are already 100% supposedly committed, DeQuan Finn, who's ascending, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Gabriel, Kyle McCord, let's even say Tyler Van Dyke, Grayson McCall, DJ Ugale, Nate Johnson. We'll stop there, right? Of all those quarterbacks, who do you think is going to get their feelings hurt and not have a place to go?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because there's somebody.
Dylan Gabriel's gone. DJ's gone. They'll find homes. I might have to think about that one. I might have to go through the list again because that's a tough question. Because that happens every year, right? That's a huge problem with the portal. I feel like you have too many coaches promising. It's where the family's got to be on the same page too. Because a lot of these kids they're gonna end up in a situation trying to find that greener pasture because things didn't go the way they expected in their first home. So sticking it out, they're going to be somewhere else. And if it goes south again, that's when you're in some real trouble.
Well, it's kind of like the equivalent, you're big into NBA and stuff like that, is the guys that remember you could declare from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And, somebody told you to declare, and then back then you couldn't go to the, G League or anything like that.
Straight to the league.
Yeah. If you just league or bust. And a lot of times you got busted. So think about that. We're going to go to break, come back. We're going to put a bow on that after we kind of give our, guesstimation who's going to, those guys might not have a chair to sit on when you're playing musical chairs. Then also we got a big, huge college basketball game tonight. I'm going to ask you about that, but then I'm going to ask you a question before that, Harrison. So Jay Foreman, Harrison, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Your path take you, traveler, to seek fortune in a new career or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation. Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Kreekak, at 402-474-1173.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
We're bringing heaven to Lincoln with a waffle unlike anything you've ever experienced. Heavenly Waffles combines an incredibly fluffy recipe packed with protein and a medley of angelic toppings. To elevate the experience beyond your typical waffle and syrup, take the opportunity to try out this divine creation and pair it with a coffee from the mill as we celebrate Heavenly Waffles Wednesday from 8 to 11 a.m. at the 93.7 The Ticket studio.
Enjoy some heavenly waffles this December 6th at the 93.7 Ticket Studio at 1040 O Street. Parking available along 11th Street or in nearby garages.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Experience flexibility like never before with Ace Rent-to-Own. Whether you're decorating a new home or upgrading your electronics, they provide easy payment plan options that suit your budget. No credit checks, no hefty interest rates, just straightforward renting solutions designed with you in mind. Find great options to make a beautifully furnished space or surround yourself with the latest gadgets. With Ace Rent-to-Own, it's all within your grasp. Visit acerentoown.com and bring home more than just a product. Bring home a lifestyle.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through December 5th is spend $75 and get a 2-pound prepackaged pecana roast for free. Limit 3 per visit while supplies last. Also, through the 5th, get 20% off all cheese and crackers. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, Harrison, old school, doing our thing down here, 1040 O Street. A little bit of text line update. Dylan Gabriel left because Levy left to Mississippi State. Well, why wouldn't he just go to Mississippi State?
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I don't like. I get it, but it was everything was still clicking for you there. Like I just would have. It's still to me that's a stretch to say it was just because.
Yeah, and I don't think they don't have a long relationship. But you're successful. I would follow him to Mississippi State. And Mississippi State always has receivers. Mm-hmm. They always put up points. They always play a good brand of football. But Oregon, with Phil Knight, we have another texter. Kip says Phil Knight, that Phil Knight money. And the one thing Phil Knight does is he sets it up to potentially for guys to be able to come and work for Nike afterwards and stuff. So that's a little bit of an NIL kick too that nobody else can do.
Deal.
Yeah. So we have an unknown texter 5882 says doesn't the MSU or Michigan State guy seem like a good fit here? Hope we get him. Yeah, he does. He's a young kid. He's a freshman, a true freshman.
And you like Levitt more, right? Or Hauser?
I said between all three of them, probably be either Noah Kim and Levitt. Levitt has more appeal because essentially he could come in. Say you get somebody older. I'm not speaking for anybody. If you got an older, more established guy, if you got like a hired gun, you could actually potentially just groom him and then
Mhm.
go from there. So a little bit more options, I think, with that.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I think Hauser might be the one quarterback that doesn't find a home.
Yeah.
Because you asked me, I think
yeah.
that's the guy. Out of all the names you list, I think all of those guys will probably find a
Yeah.
spot, but he seems like one where even if he finds the spot, he might not have it at the end of that competition. And to me, that's not winning. That's taking steps backwards.
Yeah, because he's the one that didn't play as well. Noah Kim actually had played pretty well at the beginning of the season, little injuries, and then Levitt essentially
Kinda beat him out at the end there.
took Hauser's spot. You know, the equivalent of those three. You ever see like those videos of three people jumping off a cliff? You know, they jumping in the water, in the river, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Noah Kim and Levitt hit the water. He's the last one to get in, and he is the shallow part. So another text here from Eric Case. He said, "It looks to me like Rule and company are concentrating more at Everson High School level." Sure, and they said it. Rightfully so. He's trying to build a program, and they have some good young talent that they acquired last year. Now the work needs to be done for all those guys that have potential. They're fast, but they need to get bigger, faster, and stronger. Definitely need to take advantage of that training table. He's the unknown texter 5617, potential loss of this year's QB recruits. Don't you think? I'd like a 2-year guy that can come in and start immediately. That's kind of like what I said, is like you get a guy that you kind of hope he wins the spot, kind of like a Casey Thompson. And then another guy, and then you have, Daniel Kalen coming in, which is it'd be a great situation for him too.
Yeah.
Where you come in, learn, and get it used to playing in Big Ten football.
Well, it kind of depends on me. Wherever Rule and the rest of the coaches see Kalen, and how quick he's going to be able to pick it up. Maybe he's faster than we realize, along on playing D1 Power 5 football. But I think that's going to depend on which quarterbacks they're looking at and how much that eligibility matters. Because if they think he's a way off, then they probably won't get a guy with 1 year left. They might get a younger QB that's still going to be a little closer for competition. He might not be as established, but I think that'll be somewhat of an indication where Kalen's at.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the initial but here, listen, Daniel Kalen or any court, if any player comes in here and is better than who's there, they playing.
Yep.
They've already shown you that. So you have to look at the transfer portal to handle stuff right now, potentially. But then also, if you can get some, we've seen the best way is get guys that have a couple years of eligibility. Now the 1 year thing works out well too, but at where we're at, we want it, because what you want is it's not just the stats, it's not just where they came from, it's the player, it's the person before the player. Is he a good leader? Is he somebody that can leave a legacy of what a quarterback should in this particular any position should look like, work, so forth and so on. So when you think about the guys that are either the single digits or the captains, those are the guys that you think that should leave the legacy. So when they're gone, hopefully playing in the NFL, they're watching the guys that are just taking what they've done and then doing it as good as they did and hopefully better, so forth and so on. Also, I was told I got text messages. The flight tracker is real. They go by here. I'm going to read this to you. Okay. I didn't think it was real.
Oh yeah, no, it's real. But how much weight can you put into it? You kind of know where they're at times, but I feel like there's some fog on there. There's always a little bit of fog on who's actually on that flight.
Yeah.
Like, does it give you name? No way.
It don't give you name. They just go by the tail number, and they must.
So it's a Nebraska plane, basically.
Yeah. That's why I would just send it up. Just go get your flight hours in, and also keep the other schools off keep them at bay too.
Send it out Amelia Earhart. Be like, man, Nebraska's been in the air like all day.
Yeah,
they're not coming. They're busy on the trail there.
Yeah.
We do have another unknown texter here. Your thoughts on Will Howard? I don't know if you've given your opinion yet on Will Howard, but where do you see for potential fit Kansas State coming to Nebraska? Because he's got 1 year left or a couple.
I think he's got one. I liked him when I saw him play. He played that game up there in the snow against against Iowa State. It was a good game. He played well. I like the intensity of him. I think they got a freshman that they're trying to move in. So I like him. I haven't done a lot of research on him, but 1 year, I think he could do it. I think he has the qualities as a quarterback and a person that would do well. And to be honest with you, you get a little bit more into. I know Adrian Martinez is doing like internship up there, so you could ask him about him.
It's kind of what I was thinking. I bet you can get some good information from Adrian.
Well, you'll get you'll get true info on what he is as a teammate, leader, and that's what's most important. If I'm Kyle McCord, I'm not jumping into that portal till late.
Well, especially when you look at the entire Ohio State roster, it feels like they're jumping in the portal. What do you make of that with Ryan Day and the situation? Because there's a lot of key players hopping off the team.
Well, this is the thing right now with Ohio State is that it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I think. I'm sure. Look, they got NFL guys on their roster, so those guys are going to start making business decisions, and rightfully so, right? And then you got potential Ryan Day kind of putting his feelers out there for NFL teams. Now he's trying to look. He's got a new athletic director coming in. They got a new president and athletic director coming in. So no matter what, he's not on the same footing as he was before.
Yeah, especially and he just lost to Michigan.
And he just lost it third time in a row.
Yep.
So he's not on the same footing, which is weird because you're not going to get a better coach than him. Now, you have the old saying that Jim Harbaugh says Ryan Day started on third base, he hit a triple. Look, we've had a coach like that before here. So, I don't think Ryan Day is to that magnitude. I just think he needs to change the little things he needs to do. But I think him and McCord are the same. They're in the same boat. Both of them went 11-1 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them had their hand in losing to Michigan. McCord, with all that NFL talent, it didn't work out. That made me question things. But I think that they were never fully healthy, together. And Michigan's one of the best defenses, and they might be the best team in the nation. It's hard. They're hard to beat on the road, regardless.
You still,
of the situation.
I know they controlled most of those games, but it's not like you were getting blown out.
You're right. You didn't get blown out. You didn't get boat raced like you did a couple years ago. You didn't lose the game yourself like you did last year.
And this was a year it felt like you would have got blown out.
Right. Yeah. But you had NFL talent. I thought he played okay. He needs to play better. That's a player decision, coaching decision. It's his first time playing. I think his initial reaction to jumping in the portal, because you heard the Cam Ward rumors, and maybe it's true. Maybe they've been told, but I also heard and I have personal experience with this, is that going into the bowl game, Ryan Day say everything's an open competition, right? I mean, okay, I was there before where I was starting and we're about to play Florida. Coach Osborne, I was a freshman, starting on the 95 team. And, Jamel Williams was, my backup or whatever. And, he's a different body type. I'm a true linebacker. He was kind of safety. And they said that we're going into, we had a couple scrimmages or whatever. And, who was going to start? I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Going a little bit.
None of that. For me, I felt like I'm seeing the grade sheets, and I'm producing, know. And granted, the offense that Florida was doing, for me being a young player, I knew I was only going to be primarily playing against, 11 personnel and all that. So I knew that going into the game in certain situations, I didn't like it. It was pressure, but, I think it made me it definitely motivated me. And then it all worked out. I ended up starting anyway and playing well. And so did Jamel. And then the rest is history, right? And he went on to NFL, so did I. I was eventually going to move to middle linebacker anyways. Didn't know that until we got after the bowl game. But, I initially thought about transferring in. I didn't. I think Kyle McCord, I can understand why he's mad. I wouldn't have jumped in the portal. I would have played this last game. And unless Cam Ward was already there, then the writing's on the wall. Then I got to do what's best for me.
Yeah.
Now you telling me that it's an open comment? I don't really care, dude. I beat these dudes out 12 games in a row. All right, I threw the last interception. I can stand on that, right? Mm-hmm. As you should. I didn't play as good as Justin Fields or C.J. Stroud. There's who else in the nation has, right, in college level. There's nobody in the NFL like he's C.J. Stroud might be close to MVP status, right?
He's on pace to beat the award for most passing yards by a rookie.
Right.
And it looks like it's not even going to be close.
Yeah. So that's big shoes to fill. I think it was a little impulsive, but maybe there's a backstory. And then also with Ryan Day not being on good footing, he might be saying, I need to jump ship too. So everybody's just like, like they're like cockroaches. Lights go on, they scatter. So we'll see what happens. A little bit longer on that segment. It's always good to wait for the ticket listeners. I want to ask you this: North Carolina, UConn tonight. I want to ask you this before we go to break. Then we'll talk when we think about the game. I want to ask you this: Do you view UConn as a blue blood basketball program?
I'd say like more of a recent blue blood. I'd have to really crunch the numbers on how many titles they've gotten.
They got 5 in 25 years.
Like that's
a blue blood
territory.
Yeah, that's blue blood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, blue blood territory, blue blood. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's blue blood. 5. That's 1 out of 5. That's 20% of the time they win a national title.
You probably put them in that category.
Yeah,
then, right?
They're more. I would say this. They're recent blue blood.
It's a new form. How long does it take for blue blood to be finalized? There's no real rules on blue bloods.
I mean, it's kind of. I think they're
5 in 25 years is good.
The last 25 years are definitely blue blood.
Yes.
Historic blue blood, most likely not, because they didn't really become on the national scene until Big East and Jim Calhoun kind of started their own kind of conglomerate. You got to think UCLA, Indiana, or the real old school blue bloods. Indiana, not so much recently.
I know. That's what I was wondering. It's like it almost feels like you throw another blue blood. Indiana,
but I think they're just
too much history.
I think they're historical blue bloods, because if we kick Indiana out, we got to kick Nebraska out football. So Indiana, we in there together. So Indiana's blue blood.
Yeah,
so
for the rest of history.
Yeah, rest of life, they're blue blood. They got blue blood. They got the
it's in the DNA. You can't get rid of it.
Their grandfathered in. But I think UConn's a new age blue blood. 5 national titles in the last 25 years, and not at a recruiting hotbed. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then also they're fighting against the women's iconic coach and iconic program as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're more known. They're now I think it's a basketball school, but
it was a girls' basketball school for a long time.
Girls' basketball school for a long time. It still might even still be thinking of, but I think Coach Hurley and them guys put them back on the map. So we're going to go to break. Then we're going to come back and break down this or just give our thoughts on this UConn, North Carolina game, Jimmy V Classic, Jay Foreman, Harrison. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. The holidays are here, and Fairway has everything you need for charcuterie boards, shrimp trays, party platters, wine, beer, spirits, and more. Plus, custom fresh cuts on USDA choice or prime grade beef, all natural pork, fresh chicken, and seafood. Your holiday meals start at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, If I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday season is upon us, and wow, do we have some really awesome incentives to share with you. Right now at Koppel, we're offering 0.9% interest rates or $6,000 off select Chevrolet and GMC models. Yes, you heard right, 0.9% or $6,000 off select new models. In addition, Costco customers can get special incentives for this entire month. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus with approved credit.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to attend our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. It's the best time to buy parts all year. Take advantage of specials December 6th through the 15th with additional savings the day of your local expo. Find savings on oil and filters, gifts for under the tree, and most pre-ordered John Deere parts. Visit with our trained and certified technicians and sign up for our service specials. Don't miss out. It only comes around once a year at your local Landmark Implement. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for a complete schedule of our expo events and experience the Landmark difference.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Jay Foreman, Harrison, old school, finishing out this 5 o'clock hour before we turn it over to Ticket weeknights. Amon Green from 6 to 7. He is on location. He is going from, about to tell you here right now, most wanted MMA. So it's going to be good. I think I'm going to try to pop in there, check out the place, shake hands or whatever. But Harrison, when you get back in here, I want to ask you about this game tonight. UConn, defending national champions, won it in a impressive fashion. North Carolina, veteran team, a little bit of turnover. Lost Caleb Love, who's at Arizona now. Big, obviously there was some turmoil in the locker room. Seems like they've gotten it fixed, but they've been started out better than they did last year. Never could really get out of first gear last year. Who do you think is going to prevail tonight?
Give me UConn.
Yeah.
I like UConn.
I think they just got that dude Kagarian or whatever. he's like the one of the dudes from the, I'm a big Game of Thrones dude. He just reminded me of the Klingon or whatever. He's huge in there. And they had so much depth last year. I like Coach Hurley. Liked him, I think, when he was at Seton Hall. Like his brother when he was at Arizona State, or is at Arizona State. I think he has a good thing going on up there. They got depth. They got NBA talent, and they have a culture that they are going to go out there and play to their strengths. They're going to play exactly how they play. They're physical. They can get up and down the court. They hit open threes. They can go into pick and roll. They got big guys that can defend the pick and roll. They play well against the zone. They play the zone well. I think the only way North Carolina beats them if they get into a true track meet up and down the court.
That's what's going to have to be because UConn's got the edge physical. They got the edge on rebounds. I'd say even assist numbers. Yeah. I know they're not flashy, but they share the ball a lot better, in my opinion.
They got a lot of guys at 3 to 5 assists, and so that means it's complementary basketball, kind of like Golden State when they were really humming. I think if North Carolina can shoot well from outside and get some easy baskets, maybe get a couple of the UConn big guys, or maybe their 2s and 3s in foul trouble, North Carolina could beat them.
Yeah, I think if North Carolina wins, they beat UConn the same way Creighton beat Nebraska.
Right.
We're lighting it up from 3-point land. You guys are going cold from there. Makes our defense easier. Like, even if we don't have the size, you guys are shooting blanks from the outside.
Right.
We can be undersized and just wall up inside because you guys aren't making your shots.
Beckett's the big guy for North Carolina who's been there for about 4 years. He's got to play well tonight. Yeah. And I think foot speed wise, he can cause a lot of problems. You're talking about rim to rim, offensive rebounding, physical, because he's 6'9", 6'10", about 250, and he's explosive though too.
Yeah, he's definitely like 30, 32 inch, probably vertical territory.
Yeah, so he can do some damage. So I'm excited to watch that game. It'll be on at 8:00 tonight. But we're gonna sign off here. Let me get started. I'm gonna head out there to see Amon Green in Austin on site. At the MMA spot.
Yeah, most wanted MMA.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool. Hopefully they don't try to get me on no mat or nothing, man. I'm just popping in there. I'm not trying to get down there and get busy. Because MMA guys are a little bit different, but it's good. We appreciate them allowing Ticket Week Nights to go out there and go live on location. Jay Foreman, Austin, Harrison, Old School. We'll see you tomorrow.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through December 5th is spend $75 and get a 2-pound pre